Hey there! Welcome to this explainer. I am so incredibly glad you're here today because I've got a massive, completely hidden secret to share with you. And it's tucked away inside literally every single computer, smartphone, and digital device on the planet. We all just trust these things to be the ultimate, flawless calculating machines, right? But it turns out there is actually a very deliberate, standardized glitch living right at the heart of how they do basic math. So let's decode it together, because honestly, this completely blew my mind when I first learned about it.
0.3 followed by just a ridiculous string of zeros ending in a random 4. Now, you might think this is the result of some highly complex, mind-bending scientific equation. But no, it's really not. This is exactly what happens when you open up a massive programming language like Python, JavaScript, or Java, and you ask it to calculate a simple first-grade math problem, 0.1 plus 0.2. Seriously, go ahead and try it on your computer sometime. Instead of giving you a nice clean 0.3, it spits out this trailing nightmare of a number. It feels totally counterintuitive, doesn't it? Like, why on earth does 0.1 plus 0.2 equal that? How do the most advanced math machines on Earth fail at simple addition? I mean, your phone has millions of times more processing power than the computers that literally put humanity on the moon, yet it seemingly stumbles on a calculation that you and I can do in our heads in half a second. Well, to understand exactly why this happens, we have to jump into a time machine.
The pre-1985 computer chaos.
Back in the early days of computing, before 1985, it was an absolute Wild West. There were basically no universal rules for how computers should handle decimal numbers. You know, numbers with a fractional part like 3.14 or negative 0.001. Every single computer manufacturer was essentially just making up their own rules as they went along. Imagine we ran the exact same calculation, using the exact same numbers. If you used a giant IBM mainframe, you'd get one answer, but if I ran it on a Cray supercomputer, I'd get a totally different result. It was absolute chaos.
And this chaos had some severe real-world consequences. Scientific software simply could not be reliably shared between systems. Imagine you and I are scientists working on a physics simulation together. But because you have an IBM and I have a Cray, my computer tells me our simulated rocket safely reached orbit, while your computer tells you it crashed straight into the ocean. Engineers and researchers simply couldn't trust shared code. A unified standard wasn't just some nice-to-have idea, it was a desperate necessity for the future of technology.
Enter IEEE 754.
So what is IEEE 754? Well, it's a technical standard published by the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. Back in 1985, this document essentially laid down the law. It finally told every single computer manufacturer exactly how to store, process, and calculate numbers with a fractional part in a completely consistent way. Sure, it was revised later in 2008 and again in 2019, but that original 1985 document, it changed everything. And when I say it changed everything, I mean it became the undisputed global rulebook. Virtually every modern programming language, we're talking Python, Java, C, C++, JavaScript, they all use this exact standard for floating point numbers by default. And it goes even deeper than software. Every modern CPU, from the tiny chip inside your smartphone to the massive servers powering the cloud, is physically hardwired to follow IEEE 754.
Anatomy of a float.
All right, so how does this universal rulebook actually work under the hood? Well, here is the fundamental problem that the standard had to solve. Computers work entirely in binary, just endless sequences of ones and zeros. Now, whole numbers like 5 or 42 are really straightforward to represent in binary. But decimal fractions, they are incredibly messy. You simply cannot represent every possible decimal fraction precisely using a finite, limited sequence of bits. Storing infinite decimals in a finite physical space is literally impossible. So to handle this physical limitation consistently, IEEE 754 slices every single decimal number into 3 very specific components. Step 1 is the sign bit. This is just one single bit that tells the computer if the number is positive or negative. Step 2 is the exponent, which stores the scale or magnitude of the number, kind of like scientific notation. And step 3 is the mantissa, sometimes called the significand, which stores the actual core digits of the number. To pull this off, it uses a single precision format, often called a 32-bit float. Think of the computer's memory sliced up kind of like a pie. Exactly 1 bit is reserved for the sign, 8 bits are carved out for the exponent, and the remaining 23 bits are handed over to the mantissa. And thanks to the standard, every single computer perfectly agrees on this exact recipe. But
As you can guess, sometimes you need way more accuracy than 32 bits can give you. And that's where double precision comes in. If a single precision float uses 32 bits, a double precision format bumps the whole thing up to 64 bits. It still has just one sign bit, but it expands the exponent to 11 bits and massively expands the mantissa to a whopping 52 bits. This allows the computer to store numbers with far greater accuracy, though keep in mind it still ultimately faces that same physical binary limitation.
Solving the math mystery. Okay, now that we understand the history and the real physical limits of binary memory, let's bring it all back to that wild math glitch we looked at earlier. Because the mantissa, that specific chunk of memory holding the actual digits, only has a finite number of bits, the computer is forced to make compromises. Everyday decimal fractions like 0.1 or 0.3 just cannot be stored exactly in a binary format. It's kind of like trying to write out the exact value of pi. Eventually, you literally just run out of paper. So the computer has to settle for storing the absolute closest possible binary approximation of 0.1 and 0.2. And here is the grand reveal. When you ask Python or Java to add 0.1 and 0.2, it is actually adding together two incredibly slightly imperfect approximations. And when you mash those two approximations together, a tiny microscopic rounding error spills out at the very end of the calculation. That trailing 4 isn't a random error. It's literally the mathematical exhaust of an approximation. And this brings us right to the big aha moment. As the source material puts it perfectly, this is correct IEEE 754 behavior, not a bug. Your computer isn't broken at all. It's definitely not failing at first-grade math. It is flawlessly, perfectly executing the exact constraints and rules laid out in that 1985 standard. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do when faced with the physical limits of binary memory.
So why does all of this matter to you and me? Well, because understanding IEEE 754 isn't just some boring academic exercise. The entire modern digital world is built directly on top of these microscopic approximations. Every time you play a video game and the physics engine calculates a jump, every time a bank's financial system calculates interest, every time a machine learning model is trained or a scientist simulates climate change, they are all completely reliant on the rules and the built-in imperfections of IEEE 754.
It totally makes you look at your screens differently, doesn't it? We always crave absolute perfection from our technology. But at the very bottom, right at the foundational binary level, it's all about managing constraints. Knowing this, you really have to wonder, how often does your everyday tech rely on perfect imperfections to keep our modern world running? It is absolutely a fascinating thought to chew on. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Catch you next time.